So we're talking about future sales, right? So meanwhile, we were checking out Yeat and SoFaygo's placements on Rap Caviar because Yeat just got on there with no handouts, and I believe another song, but I can't remember what it was. But it looks like Future is getting the big ass cosign from Rap Caviar. They're feeding caviar into his mouth because they gave him the top placement on the playlist. And as we've already discussed with Jack Harlow and First Class, which went #1, mind you, also broke like the Spotify streaming record. Rap Caviar is the biggest playlist on the platform, I believe. And so the album, I believe, is expected to sell 175 to 200K. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was not expecting that whatsoever. Future is 38 years old, and this is literally, I think this might be his top album ever. Like first week sales wise, performance wise. Let's actually check that out. Future, what was his self-titled first week sales? Maybe that, because I feel like that was when he had the most hype. That's when Mask Off. Never mind. Look at this shit. Future with the Mask Off album. Not, you know what I mean. This is self-titled, so it's always weird to say. 140K and 60 were pure album sales. Jeez. So Future's 38 years old and is technically in his prime right now. That is ridiculous, bro. I personally didn't think it was his best album, but that just goes to show you that first week sales are very hype driven. Like, I believe Academics talked about this, and I completely agree. Like, I get these marketing budgets the labels send, and they already know what they're gonna sell before they even start. And that's why I was always wondering, like, what are you doing? What is Smoke Perp's label doing? Like, you're supposed to generate hype, and then that's why they drop singles first, so that they have a buzz, and then you can they have literal like programs that can forecast the projected sales. But anyway, Future in the top 10 of Rap Caviar. They planned this shit too. They hit up Spotify. They were like, yo, what we gotta do to get him on Rap Caviar, the top 10 spot, my guy? And they gave him 2. And then what did we say? He got 2 Drake features. Of course, if you got Drake on your album, that shit's gonna blow the fuck up. I would not be surprised if I'm On One was top 10 Billboard this week too, especially with its placement on this playlist. And then I'm Dat. I actually didn't like that song that much. Maybe they just wanted to do different vibes. But 2 Drake features, it makes sense because High Off Life, that sold pretty well by Future as well, right? Let me check what the first week's sales were for that, because maybe he's not in his prime. Nope, he is. Look, so his last serious album, I don't remember what his last actual project was, but this was the last one that, you know, I tapped in with. 153K, because I believe he dropped what with the collab tape with Uzi. And by the way, we got to go over a hot take somebody dropped on Future, and I was like, damn, bro. 153K, 16K pure album sales. So Future is really killing it at 38 years old. What are you gonna be doing at 38 years old? Tell me. I know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm probably gonna be taking Viagra because I beat my dick too hard that it's not gonna work anymore. Who do I think selling more, Faygo or Ken Carson? Definitely Faygo. Faygo is just bigger as an artist. Ken Carson hasn't even gotten his own label owner's feature yet, bro. Once he gets the Cardi though. But the thing is, here's Travis Scott, here's Cardi. Like level wise, just sales wise, Whole Lotta Red selling 100K, Astroworld selling 250. Actually 500 if you count pure album sales. But still, like there's just a difference. And then also SoFaygo is just a bigger artist than Ken Carson. So both parties within the equation are bigger. What do I think about For a Nut with Gunna and Thug? So I saw this meme on Twitter. I gotta find it for y'all. It was funny. But it also brings up a discussion that like once you pass a certain age on social media, just motherfuckers like just clown you for anything. Ready? So For a Nut ages. Every rapper on the song. Future 38, Young Thug 30, Gunna 28. Now, none of them are married. So why aren't they allowed to talk about them nutting? Is it an immature topic? No. Why do people care about this shit? I guess it's funny though. Do you think Autumn is selling more than Coi Leray, or is he doing YBN Nahmir numbers? That's a good question. What is Autumn selling? Now, he's not mainstream. Coi Leray is kind of mainstream, at least as a personality. Coi Leray sold 11K. She had big features on there. I don't know if Autumn is selling 11K. I'm gonna be real with you. I think he's gonna sell like YBN numbers. Honestly, YBN Nahmir is a bigger artist than Autumn is. We like him very much in this like small space, but realistically, like, let's just check out how many followers he has on Instagram. Not that it always translates, because as we discussed, I believe that Sofaygo would sell more than Coi Leray, or he is going to. Like, I would put fucking 100K on that shit. But Autumn got 364K followers. And so let's just do math here. If Fago selling 20K at 700 something K with a Travis Scott feature, Autumn without any features and actually a pretty small amount of songs on the album, which I personally like taste wise, but doesn't really translate well into getting higher sales, because the more songs you have on there, the more sales, because it's all about like 1,500 streams that you divide the sales by. But anyway, I think he's selling guaranteed less than 10K. So I think he's selling less than Coi Leray, but that's to be expected. Like, it's not even fair. Like, Coi Leray is like a TikTok artist basically. What did someone say? Do you remember Controlling by Cash K? I do. That song was amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like after that he like got away from that sound though. Maybe it was because it was like a rage beat and then he didn't want to fall, or he didn't want to conform to everybody else who was rapping on those beats. But still, as we were saying, Future 200K, 175K. If he's in his prime still, he's like one of the only artists that just continuously goes up. Now again, you got to contribute a lot of those sales to Drake, but Future is an all-time great. Now I know some people were hating on me because I said the album was like a 6. I personally didn't like half of the album. It was kind of repetitive, but there were bangers on there. Both Drake features, 2 for 2. But the fact that Future is 38 and still killing all these rappers, he's still selling more than all of the young rappers, just shows you how much of a GOAT he is. He's the reason Uzi drops so frequently. He's the reason that hella people drop so frequently, in like the way he records, just making 10 songs in a night. That's why him and Juice WRLD made a collab tape, because Juice WRLD was influenced by him at some point. Autumn is for a specific group of people. He needs to expand his sound. He's a bit experimental, I'm not gonna lie. So Future is to blame for music being mid nowadays. I mean, potentially, because actually I'd say him, Wayne, Drake. Please list in the chat if you have any other artists that are the most influential of this decade. Young Thug, Travis Scott. They are the reason that artists go off the top now and just punch in, which actually speeds up the recording process. So technically you could say like it influenced, or it is the reason to blame for fast food music, because rappers just be throwing songs out like that's where it all started. Future dropped Beast Mode, DS2, and 56 Nights, or whatever the albums were, or mixtapes, 3 in 1 year. And so now all the artists had to like catch up, and that was the way to blow up at the time and build your discography. We saw Yeat, he just did that and he blew up. Uzi did that in 2016. But Sosa's definitely an influence, especially with like internet rappers and SoundCloud rappers starting so young, and like just the Chicago scene. Yeah, so Future I guess is to blame, but at the same time, like, I think more iterations and recording more makes artists nowadays better than older artists. Like, did y'all see DDG's tweet? Let's go find it. Where he said that rappers nowadays are more talented. I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, they are, because it's really opinion based. However, the fact that artists nowadays have such access to recording studios, even at their own crib with their computers, they can mess around with shit more than, say, Biggie Smalls, aka Notorious B.I.G., who would like write lyrics and be able to only record, let's say, a few times a week. Whereas everybody has access even on their phone nowadays. You can record on BandLabs or GarageBand or some shit. So I just believe in the Outliers. If you ever read that book for school, the 10,000 hours. If you put 10,000 hours in it, you become a master. And there's more master and there's more competition because the barrier to entry is so much lower. Of course, there's way more trash rappers nowadays, especially because anyone can drop on SoundCloud. But the top, like say Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, whoever else you want to include in there, they, I think, are potentially, I'm not saying it's true, but just theoretically, it's like athletes nowadays. The NBA right now, because they have so much more access to training facilities, etc., they're way better than the NBA back in the day. That's why personally I think LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. Maybe not mentally with like the or come on, we got to shout out our man's Kobe Bryant with the Mamba mentality. I don't think LeBron's headspace is the same as MJ or Kobe, but like athletically and like skill wise, LeBron is the GOAT. I'm sorry. Lil Wayne with the features. Lil Wayne, I think Lil Wayne is the GOAT. I think he's the greatest rapper alive. But if we're talking about like trap rappers, I think Future is. I sound so white saying that shit. Trap rappers, I think Future. But nah, Future is, I used to stan Future. He's the reason that I wanted to even sip lean. I even got scammed for like $200 trying to buy lean on the internet. Them lean methods before Can was selling them shits.